as ever, I'm going to start in a nice, comfortable seat. And before we get into our physical practice, I just want to bring your mind back to our class last week, where we were talking about when we return to the mat. It's our way of letting go. Letting go of our day, but also kind of the narrative that comes with what happened in the day, whether that happened in the week, our past, the stories we tell ourselves from the past moment. Also letting go of any future projections, any stories we're telling ourselves about, even if it's not what we're going to have for dinner after yoga class. Okay, that moment hasn't happened yet. We are here. So every time you come to your mat, exhale, breathe, tune in to your body. This is one of the reasons we use the breath in a physical practice for our attention. It's like you can't move in the past, or you can't step into the future. You can't breathe in the past, or you can't breathe in the future. You only breathe here. So just connect to that space. Connect to yourself. Connect to your breath, to your body, exactly as it is, sitting on the mat. I'm going to spend a little bit of time focusing on the breath and making the breath nice and rhythmic, nice and deep, because this is going to be your anchor in today's practice. We're going to focus on keeping the pace of the breath the same. We're going to concentrate our attention. If you notice your breath begins to quicken, it means you've found an edge. This is good. But if you need to back out of the posture so you can come back to that regular rhythm, please do. So as you inhale, feel your belly, your chest, your ribs, your back, everything expand. And then exhale. And breathe in. Consciously allowing yourself to control your breath and feel your body expand. Now I want you to just relax your effort around your breath. So you're consciously breathing in and out. I just want you to notice your breath without trying to change it. Just feel what your rhythm is. You may even find that a little bit difficult to relax the effort of your breath when you're so intently focusing on it. But that's okay. Just find your natural rhythm. Take your next inhale and bring your hands to your center. If you're like me and sitting cross-legged can get a little bit tight in the knees, if you need to just untuck the legs and put them straight, put them out, it's entirely up to you. If you need to adjust them at any point, again, entirely up to you. And we're just going to allow our thoracic spine to move as we warm up in our practice. Keep your head still, your hips still, and as you exhale, bring one arm forward, one arm back. And that extension through the shoulder, as you're protracting your one arm forward and you're lifting your elbow backwards, you're not shrugging the shoulder, keep the shoulder relaxed, just draw the elbow back, is going to bring a nice natural rotation to your thoracic spine. Take a deep breath there with your rhythm and exhale forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful movement for the spine and the shoulder joint. Now, we're going to relax the effort on our breath. We're just going to move to our natural rhythm. This could be slow, this could be fast. There's no right or wrong. Just breathe and allow your spine to move. What's important here is that you keep your crown lifting up as well. So if we're slouching, we don't want to be twisting with a slouched back. We want to keep ourselves nice and upright. Okay, we don't want to force that though. We don't want to be inhaling, lifting up the ribs, because we create a bend at the back of as well. So keep your belly active. Lift through the crown of the head. What I like to imagine is that I'm pressing my legs into the floor and kind of lifting myself up in the seat. It really lengthens through the spine, and as I'm rotating, I can just feel the thoracic spine moving, but the lumbar spine is just staying nice and still. Okay, what we're going to do there is hold at the end. Stretch with the fingers. Protract the shoulder, which means you're going to move your shoulder forward. So from the side. So if we're here, we're going to move the shoulder forward. So that movement there, which we can all have a little play at, is called protraction. We can do that with the hands on the floor and hands open. So we're going to protract the shoulder forward. From there, we're going to exhale and draw the hands backwards. And we're going to go until we find a nice stretch to the arms, the chest. We're going to squeeze the back muscles. And then we're going to bring ourselves back around. Nice big protraction. And exhale back. Imagine there's, I don't know why a peanut come to my awareness. Imagine there's a peanut between the back of your traps and you're trying to crack it open. So we want that level of activation through the back. What we also want to avoid here, so keep doing this, I'm going to demonstrate as you're moving. Like before, what we want to avoid is our rib cage lifting. So we don't want to get here and then start to squeeze back by lifting and arching through the back. So what happens is the movement's coming from the spine. So we're just here, protracting back, keep your belly active. There's a nice activation to your belly. Bring that back and then forward. Back and forward. Lovely. I'm just going to check. This is really good for later postures as well. Beautiful posture for longevity. Great for your spine. Strengthen the back. Excellent. Cool. Really nice job. And the last one we're going to hold. Perfect. Drop the left hand. Walk the fingertips. Lift the right arm up. Drop the left elbow. And we're going to reach up nice and high towards the ceiling. Be mindful our chest isn't closing here. So if you find that it is, you may need to lift back up on that top arm. Keep the chest, the heart nice and open. You'll find a nice stretch down the right hand side. If you extend this here, you can, but again, make sure we're not extending to the floor, keeping that nice straight line from the right hip through the right shoulder, through the right hand. And we're going to lift all the way up. Okay, find that nice extension through the arms, belly active, drop the right arm, walk the fingertips, drop the elbow. And you can see my knee protecting itself here, so this leg's lifting up Getting a lot of tension down here, so I'm actually going to take that out there. Changes it completely, but my knee doesn't like it. So if you need to adjust any postures, feel free. Keep the chest nice and open here. Reach and stretch with that hand. Nice big twist. Breathe. Feel the belly, the ribs, the back expand. Like you're blowing up a balloon. When you get that first puff that really opens the balloon up, it expands in all directions. It doesn't just expand at the belly, like at the front of the balloon, every direction. And release. Back up. Release the legs. Perfect. Okay, we're going to keep the legs out in a wider position here. We're going to focus down into the side of the back. So if you find that you're sitting down a lot, or if you even if you stand up a lot, actually it can get quite tight there. So first of all, we're going to reach forward. If you have a block, great. We're just going to put that there as a bit of a task for our mind to shoot for. If you've been to practice, this will be familiar. We're going to rotate the femurs out. This is going to lock your pelvis. We're going to bring our chest forward, and we're going to push the block. And we're just going to get it as far as we can, and just at that point where you can't push it anymore and your fingers are just missing, we're going to hold. Breathe. On the exhale, feel you get a little bit more. Breathe in. Exhale. Okay, come back to your rhythm of breath. Last breath, and then walk the fingertips over to the left foot or left shin, left knee, depending on your flexibility, doesn't matter. But trying to keep your chest a bit proud as you fold over. Very good. Most people will find a difference in each side here. So this side might feel a little bit more open than the other side. That's fine. Some of you may feel this really deeply in the hamstring. Others, lower back. Perhaps a mixture of the two. This is all good information for you to learn about yourself and your practice. So as you're moving through the membership, as you're selecting individual classes, think of classes that can target certain areas for you. Learn your body. Okay, walk the fingers back over to the block. Can you get a little bit further? So I've got this much further after that stretch. I'll take it. Okay, and then walk over to the opposite side. Now, if you're watching on a replay, or even if you're watching in class, you'll see that for me, this side is considerably different. You get a lot more rounding at the upper back, a lot higher here. Breathe. Okay, and walk the fingers back to your block. Okay, see if you've got any extra. Draw your elbows to your knees. Plant the hands upon the floor so your index fingers are touching. And then from here, either side, it doesn't matter, peel one side off, lean into the elbow, take one hand up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Lovely deep stretch down the side of the back. Remember, keep those femurs rotating out. We're still active in the legs. Just lock the hips so that when you're stretching against it, there's a nice stable anchor to stretch against. Deep breath in. Exhale, let the hand back down. Elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale, opposite side. Nice open heart. Inhale and exhale. Back down. See, on the exhale, we can reach our hands forward. See if we've got any more in that stretch. A couple more extra mil. It's pretty cool. And that's about me today. And inhale, back, up. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to draw the heels in. I'm going to send the hands behind the body. A few variations here. The first one, we're just going to see if we can lift the bum off the floor. This is going to be strong on your wrists, so if at any point you need to stop, give your wrists a bit of a stretch, feel absolutely free. Okay, so we're going to press into the hands. Use your heels. There should be even weight between hands and heel, and we're going to lift up. Excellent. If you find it more comfortable to bring the legs in a little bit more, again, absolutely fine. Just modify for you. Now, the next stage, we're going to see if we can take one hand off, and actually that'll do for the second stage. And then we'll come to the opposite one. Again, don't force this. Listen to your body. There's variations for a reason. We're not here to completely push ourselves to our limit. Listen to your body. The next stage is to lift and reach, only if it's in your practice. As you're reaching, really stretch through, get this lovely stretch down the side of the body. So I'll do this one more time here. And the last one, we're going to reach and lift with the hips. So come into a big, strong bridge, down, plant the hand with accuracy and control. So take a moment after that one to slow down. Okay. Please listen to the variations. We do these postures a lot. You'll feel yourself progress. If it's beyond you, don't do it. If it is, feel free to challenge yourself, but know your limits. Right? It's not a race, and yoga's more about listening or experiencing certain reactions. So I get a lot of this in class where, even though, and I'm not saying this for about anyone here, just more to my live classes, I'll say to not do this, but there's a lot, you can see the reaction in students who just really want to give it a go, and that's fully understandable. But there's a lot to be said about observing that reaction and then choosing what's right for you consciously. So find what is right for you here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat this. So either lifting your bum, lifting the hand, and into the full reach, and we're just going to go either side. So breathe in, find a rhythm, lift whatever variation you're on, exhale down, press, plant the hands, lift all the way up. We should be even between the feet and the hands at all time. Even if we're twisting and lifting, we should feel the same pressure through the hands. Okay, we're going to do one more each side. Lovely for your shoulder strength. Lovely for your flexibility. And up on the opposite side. Okay, if you're feeling particularly strong, if you're still up, what we're going to do here is going to push with our heels and hold a really strong sit for just a couple of seconds. 1, 2, 3, relax. Cool, I get some energy flowing. Bring yourself to a kneeling position when you're ready. I want you to be super controlled with this. You know, we move with attention. We're moving for longevity, so we want to make sure that we're putting our full attention to all our movements. Fingers, index finger facing forward, elbow pits turn forward, turn your pits forward, and then we want a slight tuck to the tailbone. So we don't want to be tilted here for cat-cow, just slight tuck to the tailbone. Take your gaze between the thumbs and hold there. Now I want you to create the sensation that you're creating traction to your spine. So you're lengthening your spine backwards and the crown of your head going forwards. Cool, very good. Nikki, you could probably have a little bit more of a tilt to your tailbone. Just so that's better. Yeah, that's much straighter. So keep that pelvic tilt the whole time. Now from here, we are going to take the right arm and we're just going to lift it up. We're going to keep our gaze down. We're not going to move the spine. We're just going to lift the arm forward. You'll find that it doesn't raise all the way forward. Okay, it might just be angled to the floor. That's fine. Okay, then we're going to point the left foot back. We're going to squeeze the glute, keep that pelvis tilted, and lift the heel. And you'll find that when you don't move your back, your leg doesn't move up as much. So we're going to hold there, and then we're going to place that back down onto the ground. Okay, so Nikki, what happened there is that as your leg lifted, the tailbone tilted, so your leg went higher. So keep that pelvic tilt the whole time. Everyone, I want you to flow between this. So lift the arm, lift the leg. That's better, a bit more tuck, Nikki. Okay, brilliant. So now what we're going to start to do is bring our elbow and knee together, keeping the tailbone tilted, the core active, and we're going to extend forward through the hand, through the leg, use the core to bring everything together. Two more times. Hips are level, core is active, hold. And relax down. Very good. If you need to take a rest on your wrists, knees, please feel free. If you're ready, same again. We're gonna just get set first. Left arm comes up, and then we're gonna send the right foot back. Keep that tucked tailbone. You'll find that your leg doesn't lift as high. If you find that your leg is going up here, what's happening, if you look at my spine, we've got a U shape here. Okay, that's because the tailbone is tilting and we're not sticking to that tuck. If I keep that tucked underneath, I can only get to about this high. Really emphasizes the squeeze of the glute. The movement comes from the hip rather than the spine. Makes your get more of a toned bum, stronger legs, better core posture, much better posture for when you're walking as well. When you're ready, begin to start moving knee to elbow, keeping that beautiful contraction. It's nice and slow, nice and slow. Watch the cats. Awesome. And when you're ready, bringing that to a still stop. Okay. We're just going to stretch into the spine a little bit before moving into down dog. So from this nice, stable, all fours position, tabletop position, send your left arm to the corner of your mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring your elbow down. Keep your chest square to the mat. Feel that deep stretch through the left-hand side. Again, we're going to use our breath to take us down. And what we want to focus on again is that tilted pelvis. Keeps the spine straight, and what it means is that you find the stretch in the right place. If you start to tilt your tailbone and let everything melt, you'll find that the movement comes from the lower part of the back and the hips. And here, we want to find the stretch underneath the armpit into the chest. Breathe in, breathe out. And lift up. When you're ready, opposite side, exhale down. and begin to lift. So it's really useful stretch, and just great for longevity. Really is. It's an absolute staple in my routine. Okay, variations of downward facing dog, and we're going to add a little bit of movement to this as well. So first of all, tilt the tailbone, bend the knees, send the hips back, and if this is your variation, please stay here. If you want to take it back into full downward facing dog, please just press back and drop the heels down. I'm feeling a little bit tight in the hamstrings today. What we're going to do here, you can either hold, but if you want an extra workout, we can bring ourselves down to our kneeling position again and send it back. Remember, the weight pushes into the palms, through the shoulders, into the heels. Okay, and breathe. Find that nice rhythm, nice control. You're pushing through the hands, through the shoulders, into the hips. If you want to move forward and back, please do. Excellent. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now I want you to push. I want you to do as many repetitions as you feel is about 75% of your effort here. And then once you've done that, I just want you to come back to this kneeling position. So in your own time, just flow between downward facing dog and this kneeling position till you feel you're about 75% of the way. And then join me in tabletop. Take your time, no rush. If you feel like you can keep going, keep going. If you feel like you've got your 75%, then breathe in tabletop. Get into the flow, feel, breathe. You're your own teacher here. Okay, perfect. We're starting to see a few people. Just relax here. So when you're ready in the next 2 or 3, if you've gone more, if you're still going, brilliant. We're just going to push back into child's pose. Extend the hands forwards. And just take a deep breath there. Feel the rib cage expand all directions. And then lift back up. Press back up into your nice high plank. Into downward facing dog. We're going to just lift up the left foot. Not huge, not really high. And step through. Okay. From here, we're just going to make sure that our feet are hips width apart. So if your foot is next to your left hand, they shall be. We're going to anchor through the left foot, the right foot. Press through the front foot. Lift everything up. Kick through that back leg. Inhale the hands. Exhale down the crescent. Now I'm doing a bit of a modified one here. You may be getting into the full posture here. So keep your hips square. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Press into the hands, straighten the front leg. We're not fully locking out, so we want to still have an active quad. It shouldn't be floppy. Nice active quad. So lift the quad up. You're not trying to really tense it 100%, but it wants to be active and supporting that leg. Pressing down through that back heel, squaring the hips. Perfect. Okay, and from there we're going to bend that front leg, lift the hands all the way back up into crescent. Again, yours will look different to mine at the minute. I'm on a modified version. And then exhale back down to straight. Breathe. Very good, very good. And then back into crescent. Very good. And back over. Sharon, you can stay in crescent as you just lifted up, that's not a problem. And exhale down, Sharon, and lift up everybody. Okay, from your crescent posture, arms up nice and tall. From here, we're going to step through all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Just let everything hang. I just want you to notice the difference in the legs, in the lower back, after only doing one side. Just tune in to how postures work your back, work your body. Sometimes it's very subtle. One way we can do that is just work on one side and come into a posture that you can examine both sides together and see the difference. There may not be, that's okay too. Inhale, lift all the way back up, and then we're going to take that left foot back into crescent posture on the opposite side. Inhale, lift the hands. This is the first time I've done this in 2.5 weeks, and my God, my hip flexors, they don't feel like mine. It's great, it's crackers. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe. Support that knee. And inhale, bend that knee, lift everything up. Use your breath. Focus. Anchor through the feet. And breathe over. Find your rhythm now, it's entirely up to you. You can move forward, back as quickly or slowly as you desire. Whilst you're in your groove here, one thing to focus on is as you're coming down or even up, but let's focus on the down from crescent to the stretch. How slow can you keep your torso going? Can you actively control your core to lift yourself up and down? So next time you move into the bottom half of this posture, slow and control. Allow your hands to lightly tap on the floor. So as we're going down, control all the way and tap. When we're coming up, control through the trunk. Breathe. Okay, everyone's at the top. Hold here in crescent. And big step through. We're going to step into Tadasana, heels apart. Well, you might find it comfortable to have your feet hips width apart, it's fine. I like to have my toes together, heels apart, my femurs rolling out, belly drawn back in, hands to your center, and you're kind of pressing into your feet. You're rolling your femurs out to draw the hip forward, the gentle tuck to the tailbone, lengthening through your spine. And we make sure our belly's active and we're not lifting the rib cage. Excellent. What we're going to do is going to take a we'll go 5-step squat. So we're going to take the toes out 1, heels out 2, toes out 3, heels out 4, toes out 5. So a wide squat here. I'm going to rotate the femurs out, hands to center, and we're going to drop down. Now again, this is a modified one for me. If you're going deeper, then that's great. If you're not, that's also great. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm not nowhere near range today, so I'm just holding here because it's so tight. And we're just going to breathe into it. Now, when you're doing this, I want you to make sure that, if I come side onto the camera, when we come down, we're sitting our back straight, or in like a slight angle. Ideally, with this, we're kind of having a tuck here and the back is straight. If you find that you're doing this to hold the posture, you may need just to lift up a little bit so you can kind of keep that back nice and straight and sink down into it. Yeah, cool, very good. Again, Sharon, be mindful of your back. It can be quite strong down there in a posture like this. Inhale, send the hands out. I'm going to hold this last little bit. Elbows up, fingers spread. Draw that elbow and the hands back like we did at the start of the practice. Belly active, shoulders come back. Beautiful for the spine. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Lift up a little bit. Exhale down a little bit. And we're going to repeat 5 times. Okay. And lift all the way up. Take your hands to your hips. Forward fold. Hands down. Walk your hands across to your left or right foot. Either works. And then across to the other side. And we're just going to flow between the two. Very good. Okay. Brilliant. From there, nice and simple. I'm going to walk the hands over to the left foot. I'm going to turn the left foot. I'm going to lift onto the ball of the foot. The back foot, nice and easy. This nice wide stance. Drop the back knee. Okay. Tell you what, we won't stay here so we don't have to balance the sides. Just heel toe the left foot all the way out back to your kneeling position. And then we'll take the legs nice and wide to the edge of the mat. We'll tilt the tailbone and bring the hips back. Send the hands forward and down. Take a moment here. Excellent. On the next inhale, I'm going to lift all the way back up. Okay. Now, if it's in your practice, we're going to move to a seated position. One way you can do this is crossing the ankles and just sitting back. For me, it's just an absolute no-go with my leg, but it might work for you. If not, just find a seat in a way that feels good. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw the heels down, flex the feet, and we're going to roll our spine vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down to a laying down position. So you're going to need a lot of core strength. One way you can do this is if you kind of reach for your toes here, and you can see that my spine is curling here, and we're going to see if we can keep that curl, and we just one by one get your vertebrae. So you're going to have to really round your back to get this all the way down. Nice and slowly, one at a time. Perfect. Okay. Now we're just going to have two postures here to unwind any tension or any remaining tension from our day. So I want you to bring your knees up, your heels together. I want you to protract your shoulders. We know that movement now, so we're going to protract our shoulders. We're going to lift out the back. So you want to take as much of your back out as possible. Arch and kind of create a nice arc to the arms, like a big hoop, like you're hugging a medicine ball. And then what we're going to do is just reach. You'll know I'm a big fan of a physio called David Gray, who I learned this from. And it's just really good for opening up the ribs, stretching through the back of the arms. It's just a beautiful addition to your practice. And as we've seen before, when you do this, the way that you lie in Shavasana is completely different. The way your body feels as you're laying Shavasana is completely different. Okay, very good. Relax the arms. Draw the knees up. I'm going to finish today's practice with Happy Baby. So, draw your fingers over your big foot, or over your big foot, your big toe, and then you can hook your fingers over your soles of your feet. So it's entirely up to you which grip you prefer. You may prefer the outside of your feet, inside the feet. Some may prefer the ankles. I don't care. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to then just work on keeping that lower back tilted into the mat. So a little bit different to what we've been doing so far. We're not tucking the pelvis under here. We actually want to tilt to get the back nice and flat, and then draw the legs back and find your breath. And just before we move into Shavasana, just connect with your breath. And draw the heels down. Relax the feet and find your Shavasana. Now the way we like to come into Shavasana here is via a series of breaths. So when we're moving into Shavasana, we lengthen the exhale. When we're moving out of Shavasana, we lengthen the inhale. So as we're moving in, we're going to deep breath in and slow the exhale down. And feel the body completely letting go of all efforts on the exhale. And I want you to guide yourself down through this sequence of breaths, feeling yourself becoming more relaxed. And on the fifth exhale, give yourself permission to fully let go. Let go of any expectations. Let go of any efforts from your practice. Let go of any holding on. Let go of any reaching. And just fully surrender into Shavasana. There's not many moments in our day where we can completely surrender, completely let go. Arms wide, heart open. This is why Savasana or Shavasana is so important, and why every single practice, every single pose can be different except for Shavasana. Because every single time we finish a class, we surrender. We surrender our effort. We surrender control. We just lay with the moment as it is. This is yoga. At its deepest, most beautiful level. And whether we know it or not, every time we come to Shavasana, this is what we practice. We practice surrender. I'm going to leave that one there for today. I want you to let the echoes of this practice carry forward with you into your week. So in your own time, bringing yourself out of Shavasana on the inhale. Lengthen your inhale and feel your body expand, and let the exhale go. Feel your body get more energized as you deeply breathe in the inhale. Breathe in. Wake up to your room, your environment. Breathe in. Stretch your arms above the head. Breathe in. Stretch your feet out. And on the last big deep inhale, join me in a seated position. We'll just take just a few breaths in our seat and bring our hands together. We won't finish with a meditation today. We'll just bring some intention to our week. To take the calm, to take this practice forward with us. Namaste.